Continuing coverage from Champaign at Memorial Stadium of the IHSA Football Championships, we have arrived at the Class 4A Championship. Two teams familiar with each other, Immaculate Conception Catholic Prep and Bishop McNamara. We take a look at our schedule from today. We've had some drama, we've had some rain, and we've had some great crowds here at Memorial Stadium to take in the first of our 3 championships today. This is the finale, but we roll into 4 more championships tomorrow. Glad to have you with us this evening, along with my partner, NBC Sports Chicago Preps Insider Edgy Tim. I'm Patrick Reed. Edgy, these are teams that are very familiar with each other. 4 matchups in the last 4 seasons between these two teams.
They are Metro Suburban Blue rivals. They know each other very well. There are not going to be a lot of punches pulled here, Patrick. But the interesting part of this is going to be the chess match between these two. As we mentioned, they know each other really well, but maybe a tweak here or there make things very interesting in this ball game.
They know each other well. They've been in this position numerous times, battling for a state title. IC Catholic Prep is looking for its 3rd in a row, as a matter of fact.
They are, and again, just Bill Kraft and that staff, tremendous success, a lot of talent, and again, just a tremendous program that's on a really, really serious roll.
So Edgy and I are here at field level. Let's send it upstairs to the guys calling the game. Dave and Mark, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Patrick and Edgy. And, you know, Mark, as we take a look at our key players tonight, the number 4,393 comes into my head. Those are numbers you're going to hear talking about, first of all, our player of the feature. That's Kyle Franklin from IC.
2,151 of those yards come from Kyle Franklin. He's a special athlete who's really matured as a football player. He's matured as a person. He's dynamic in the open field, and he is an explosive home run waiting to happen every touch of the football is Kyle Franklin.
Okay, so we have to get to 4,393, and that takes us to Tyshawn King for Bishop McNamara.
All he's done is grounded for 2,242 yards, 47 yards for the All-Stater. He's a workhorse. He'll carry it 25, 30 times. He's explosive. He's fun to watch. These two backs are mega players tonight.
IC won an earlier matchup this year against Bishop McNamara, 21-20, but it came in the last 16 seconds. What are we going to have for you here tonight in the 4A Championship? Well, stick around. We have it coming your way next on NBC Sports Chicago.
We're about set for Class 4A play. IC Catholic, Edgy Tim, is a team that didn't get off to the start it wanted to against Richmond Burton, still came away with the win in the semifinals. What do they need to do tonight?
Well, again, if you're in this ball game and if you're Immaculate Conception, you want to spread the wealth. Everyone knows about Kyle Sanders, the running back, but I tell you what, a lot of multiple weapons here for IC, and then you've got to play clean, meaning avoid the turnovers and penalties, which was a little bit of a concern in the semifinal game.
For Bishop McNamara, Dave and Mark told us about Tyshawn King. He's a big boy, but they've got other weapons as well.
Well, they do, but to me it does. It begins with Tyshawn King. You want to feed him early and often. And again, you just want to play your game and get that young man going. And the quicker he gets going, the better off for the Fighting Irish.
The Fighting Irish and the Knights, the Class 4A Championship, coming your way next from Champaign.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois. It's time for 4A Championship football. Bishop McNamara, IC Catholic Prep. And as always, weather a factor here on Thanksgiving weekend. Here's the conditions right at the moment. Temperature in the low 40s, that's acceptable. The wind has died down just a bit, but the rain has been off and on through our previous 2 games. We expect the same to be the situation here in this 3rd game. Here, the 4th game of the day, the 3rd game in a row that we may get a little water, and it will be IC Catholic Prep. They won the toss, they deferred, they will kick off, and the fair catch will be called, and Bishop McNamara, the Fighting Irish, 12-1 on the season. The only loss coming to IC Catholic earlier this season, as we mentioned, 21-20 in that ball game. So we will get our first look at the Bishop McNamara offense that has been absolutely cooking, and one of the reasons why has been the quarterback, number 8, Tyler Hiller. Marquis has really come on strong as this season's progressed.
Pretty good numbers right there on your screen, but the biggest thing is this young man, because of their juggernaut of a running attack, did not need to throw the football a lot, but when he does, he's been really effective and is much improved over last year.
First carry of the game will go to Tyshawn King. No surprise there. Here's the starting lineup for Bishop McNamara. King will be joined in the backfield by Owen Jackson. Good receivers in Wilson Netherington. Keep an eye on Peyton Gerberding, Brandon Courtney at the tight end spot. Then the offensive line. In the middle, it's Liam Bertram, Mankey and Niels on either side, Smith and Ruder. The outside, the tackles for Bishop McNamara. Coming off a 52-42 win in the semifinals over two-time defending state champ Rochester. That took place this past Saturday. Rochester had won 7 of its last 8 4A state championships here in Illinois. The defense for IC Catholic Prep. You'll see several of these players going both ways, including defensive tackle Ricky Misselwicki's capping off a great 4-year career. Khalil and Khalil Saunders will come at you from the middle. There's Misselwick right in the middle, big 300-pounder. Third down and about 4 for Hiller. On the run. And he will find his man, but incomplete near midfield.
Great break on the football on the defensive side by Ryan Malik, the DB, 5'9", 170. As ball came, so did Malik to bust up that would-be first down. They roll the pocket, plenty of time. Watch him square it, throw it, catch, but hit. And incompletion force. Great job, nose for the football.
Peyton Gerberding does the punting for Bishop McNamara. Averages about 35 yards a kick. He is punting against the wind. No pressure on him, and this is not a great kick. Off the side of his foot, and will take an IC hop, and the Knights will have great field position to start. They'll start at about their 47-yard line. They'll bring an offense onto the field that averages 43 points per ball game while giving only 7.8. And there is their quarterback. He can do a lot. That's Khalil Saunders. See his passing numbers at over 1,300 yards. He's rushed for over 500. He's accounted for 22 touchdowns.
So you'll see a lot of Saunders and Franklin meshing together, meaning he will read the defense and he'll decide if he's going to keep it himself, Saunders, or if he's going to give off to his all-stater in Franklin. Quite often you'll see that part of their offense.
Saunders to keep, and he came within a shoestring tackle of Manny Harris's to bust that one all the way after the fake to Franklin.
And that was indeed the zone read on that fake, and an excellent read by Saunders.
See the rest of the lineup. Jake Litton, a prolific wide receiver. Khalil Saunders, the twin of the quarterback Khalil. First down pass will go to the outside, and Ryan Malik on the receiving end of that first down pitch and catch.
Now that is run-pass option play right there. So Saunders has had 2 plays to read. He's done them both impeccably well. He rides his fullback, then he decides he sees some perimeter passing ability and uses it.
McNamara defense giving up about 15 points per game. They'll be tested against an offense that wants to get it and go. Quickly, IC back to the line. Franklin. A steamroll back. Kyle Franklin coming off a 192-yard rushing day, 3 touchdowns, including a 92-yarder. Came against Richmond Burton in the 28-9 win. That touchdown run of 92 yards came when the Knights were down 9-0 in the third quarter.
Yeah, you see that run on film? That was just a ridiculous run. He was stopped by 2 or 3 people line of scrimmage, and there's no whistle. He busted to the outside and went to the house.
Saunders, who threw into the outside once again, inside the 30-yard line. Now, Edgy and Patrick were talking about the familiarity of these 2 teams, and that leads you to the 2 head coaches, Bill Kreft and Rich Zanani, about the gamesmanship that they will have here tonight.
Well, if they weren't playing football against each other, they'd be playing a chess match, because that's what's going on tonight. I know what you do. I watch film. We played each other. So you're going to change it. Well, I'm going to change what you're going to change. So that's why a lot of teams, I don't know if these haven't stripped the first plays, to script them to see what the defense is going to do in regards to their offense.
Franklin will get the call. It'll be grabbed initially by Logan Johnson.
Kyle Franklin, the ball carrier.
Franklin earlier in the playoffs in the quarterfinals against Marengo carried the ball 31 times for 310 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Topped that with 3 touchdowns, 192 in the semis, and he's got a pretty good playoff run going.
Pretty good opening drive here for IC. It's again Saunders will keep it, and Saunders will dance ahead for the first down.
You like athleticism, you just saw it. You like great vision, you just saw it. And if you like to watch a guy make outstanding cuts, look at the read right there. Defensive end crashes, so Saunders says, I'll keep it. Fouls a nice block out front from his big guard out there. Good block by Michael Johnson. Saunders does the rest.
He gets the first down before a tackle by Andrew Steffes, and that ball is free. Loose ball. IC may be on top of it. It will be second down.
It's the 10th play of the drive thus far, and it almost ended at 9. But presence of mind to fall on the football, IC keeps possession.
Man, Franklin never got a hold of that one. Boy, Ricky Misselwick just muscled his way to that ball.
A little bit of confusion on the mesh to read between quarterback and running back right there. The play wasn't clean.
Room off left tackle, and that was too easy. Kyle Franklin will go in. Franklin's 36th touchdown run of the season opens the scoring in your 4A championship game.
Boy, acceleration by an excellent back right there. And he got into the house. He knocked down the front door and walked away. Look at nice seal block on the outside. Franklin knows where the end zone's at. Good close down right there by Bishop Max Peyton Gerberding, but too little, too late as Franklin bulldogs it right into the end zone.
Tom Sloan will come on to attempt the extra point. Sloan, dead center, capping off a 10-play, 52-yard drive that only took 2 minutes and 53 seconds, led by number 9. That's Khalil Saunders. The touchdown run coming from number 20. That's Kyle Franklin coming your way. And for IC Catholic, on the board first. Rushing touchdown of the season for Kyle Franklin gives IC the early 7-0 lead. IC Catholic Prep, housed in Elmhurst, Illinois, DuPage County. The enrollment puts them at a 3A school. The success factor has moved them up to 4A, playing in the same mid-suburban conference as Bishop McNamara last year, right here in the state championship ball game. It was played in DeKalb. It was a 35-0 shutout win over Pleasant Plains for the Knights. Once again, a little pop-up kick and great coverage, and Bishop McNamara will start from its own 20-yard line. There's Bill Kreff, the head coach in his 7th season at IC Catholic. Kreff played on the 2002 Immaculate Conception Championship team. He was an offensive guard, defensive end, and an all-stater. And he's gone back-to-back here in state titles. And another shorts-wearing coach here on a cool day.
Graduate of Augustana in Rock Island. Good football school, CCIW. Bill Kreff has done a great job perpetuating this program.
The Fighting Irish 3 and out on its first possession. Now start from the 19. King to the outside. Stretches a bit more. And you'll see the different style between Tyshawn King and Kyle Franklin. King, bruising tight back with speed, 5'10", 180-pounder. Of course, he is an all-stater. That 2,200 yards rushing season.
And you see number 5, Tyshawn King. Just watch number 4, Owen Jackson. Where Owen Jackson goes, Tyshawn King will follow. Great fullback, blocking back for his buddy.
This time Jackson will get the call. And Let's see where they mark forward progress. They'll be close to that first down. One of the rare carries for Owen Jackson. Tyshawn King, see those 2,242 yards, incredible. 47 touchdowns. Leading receiver, Peyton Gerberding.
Jackson, that was only his 26th carry of the year, just enough to keep the defense honest.
Well, he didn't get many carries last week in the win over Rochester because Tyshawn King carried the ball 48 times for 337 yards.
That's just crazy. Jackson did have 2 catches, though.
Hiller, he has some room. Gets out of bounds in a hurry, but not before Tyler Hiller, the junior quarterback, will pick up a first down.
But Hiller played 7 games as a sophomore last year. He threw for 865 yards and 7 touchdowns, but he really grew into his own this year. They faked the jet sweep right there. Then he looks to his right, goes through progressions, nothing there, keeps it himself, knows where the stick's at, very soundly moves the sticks and gets out of bounds to the boundary.
Bishop McNamara offense in their 4 playoff games have scored 59, 49, 42, and 52 points. Near side pitch to King. He was brought down by the ankles by Kevin Cook, leading tackler for the Knights. Averages 13.7 tackles per game for IC.
Well, see, just a toss sweep out of the I formation, that takes you back, honestly, to like the USC days with the 70s, what have you. And Rick Zananti's been around basically that long, 40th year coaching, and this is what he does. His offensive coordinator, Jack Roney, played for him, and they do what they do. They are who they are, is Bishop McNamara.
Fighting Irish, 5 state championships, finished as runners-up 3 other times. Heil surges forward, and that will be enough for the first down. Rich Zananti, in his 44th season, he just keeps on going. A Hall of Famer. In fact, how long has he been around? His current players were not alive for one of his 5 titles.
Oh, that's just crazy. And you know what? He is as great a coach as he is just as great of a person. Absolutely a gracious person with his players in victory and defeat. Class man.
No, I should say they were alive for only one of his 5 titles. First one coming in 1985. Irish spread the field. They'll get about 10 yards. I don't know if McNamara player has been cleanly tackled yet tonight. They stay in their feet. And that's Peyton Gerberding for his first reception of the night.
What a well-run route by Gerberding. Watch the top of your screen. He's going to plant his foot and cut right to the outside. The ball delivered on time, right in front of Khalil Sanders. Saunders, one of many two-way starters.
It is good enough for a first down, and King again to the outside. This time he'll be brought down from behind. Big Ricky Misselwick sees to that. 6'3", 310-pound senior, a 4-year starter, and his head coach Bill Kreft has said Ricky's just been dominant for 4 years. Not just a 4-year starter, but dominant.
Yeah, he moves very well at that 310 you mentioned. Great nose for the football. Great vision. And I don't know, obviously, Bill Kreft's game plan, but you might be watching a situation where they're spying or setting one man all the time on Tyshawn King.
King comes in motion. Hiller, pass over the middle. It's knocked away. He was looking for Manny Harris. Harris took a big hit from number 21. The defensive backfield, that is Cam Hood.
Hood just playing some zone defense right there. Sees the crossing route and boom, gets a good shot, clean shot, physical shot to knock that, jar that ball loose.
3rd down and 10 for McNamara. 2nd drive of the night for the Fighting Irish. And again, King is slotted. Owen Jackson, the only man alongside Hiller in the backfield. Tyler Hiller makes a man miss, and he will come up short. Misselwick slowed him down.
I see Catholic showed a 4-man rush, but then they brought the middle linebacker. Well, look at that, number 44, just blitzing right up the middle. That's Kevin Cook with the Fighting Irish picked that up and allowed this nice run by Hiller.
So an early 4th down situation here with 4.5 to play in the first quarter. Bishop McNamara needs to get inside the 25-yard line. Look to do it in the air. They do. Hiller, poised, just waited. Found his man. Coming across from left to right is Logan Johnson.
45, Logan Johnson.
Johnson took a hit. He had a receiving touchdown last week. He says, you know, Johnson says, you know, usually it's block, block, block. But last week he got a touchdown catch, and here he gets a 4th down conversion catch.
Well, they roll the pocket right there. Look at Hiller's eyes. Downfield, downfield. And he has a nice, easy toss in front of the DB. Well-run route on the crossing pattern to move the chains.
I've seen a number of different offensive formations tonight for McNamara and King, just inside the 15.
So Hiller in a probable pass situation right here as the key eye is going on King, no doubt about that. And once Hiller hits a few passes, which he's very capable, he'll loosen up the downfield looks, which would allow King more running on the inside.
Netherton along with Gerberding split wide to the left side. King, IC stretches him out. He'll stay on his feet. Well, they're going to say his knee went down at about the 15-yard line. But there's the strength of Tyshawn King.
And his ability, his balance is incredible. But how about white shirts right here? The Knights really string this up. It's all about getting more hands to football. 1, 2, 3. Really good gang tackling right there. As many hands to get the football as you can. Did the knee go down?
McNamara fans don't think so. I don't know that it did.
He got his hand down and kept both his feet churning.
So that about a 3-yard difference. On the 3rd down and long. Miller misfires the attempt to completion of 8 Gerberding. Another 4th down situation here on this drive.
Gerberding had one-on-one coverage. He had an opportunity against Crady to work on that. Ball just a little bit underthrown. I see Catholic probably sit back at some zone defense. Of course, all about this camouflaging your defensive look here. 0 for 3 for 3rd down for Irish.
On 4th down into the end zone, incomplete, and IC is held. They will get the ball back with a 7-0 lead. 2:18 to play in the first quarter. Touchdown run from Kyle Franklin. Bill Kraft's defense comes up big in the red zone. This is for a title game here on NBC Sports Chicago. Watch former Bears coach Dave Longstep break down the X's and O's of the Bears-Lions game. Don't miss touchdowns and takeaways. Presented by Ankin Law, Monday at 5:30, right here on NBC Sports Chicago. Second time the Knights have had the ball tonight. Quite as good a field position as the first drive that led to an 11-yard touchdown run by Kyle Franklin, but a good play on 1st down by IC.
A little inside zone handoff. Michael Johnson, Declan Barney open a nice hole on the left side.
The players on the offensive side are keeping an eye on. You've already seen the impact that Franklin and Khalil Saunders has had. Bouncing up and through for about a 6-yard pickup is Franklin. Khalil Saunders thrown for about 1,300, almost 1,400 yards, and his favorite receivers, Jake Litton, along with his twin brother, Khalil Saunders.
Operating on the pistol, that means the quarterback's 5 yards back. Shotgun means 7 when you see that on your screen.
Big hole up the middle, 1st down run. You see one of the reasons that Kyle Franklin has rushed for over 2,100 yards this year, able to keep his balance and drive forward. Saunders The handoff to Franklin. Franklin just a sophomore.
Well, I tell you what, he's only 5'9", 5'8", and he has such a low pad level. So hard to find when he gets into the big hogs up front.
Gets another opportunity here. He will get across midfield. A little slow to get up.
Late flag at the 45-yard line to sort that out.
Caleb Smith for Bishop McNamara with a late fling of an offensive lineman, Ryan Canale. But the bigger concern right now is Kyle Franklin. Well, they'll go holding call. That hold came earlier than anything that happened after the play. David Minnick is your referee tonight. Kevin Behringer, Roy Snyder, Mark Lay, and Jeffrey Fuller. The honor of working this 4A championship game.
So Franklin went down and immediately went to the training staff and pointed at his right leg. They tend to that and they check him out, range of motion, and get him back up.
They are moving his foot. Possible cramp. You would guess, though, kind of twisted up in there. Well, that holding call will push this ball back to the 35-yard line.
A telltale sign is if he's out one play and back in. So we'll see if that's just you have to sit out one play coming off, or if there's more to it than that as they evaluate on the sideline.
The skill position players look to the sideline for that play call. They have it. Saunders to run. He sees that hole up the middle. And we have seen already tonight about 4 or 5 instances of whether it be Franklin or Saunders, the extra little burst at the end to pick up the additional yardage.
Yeah, this design quarterback draw, well-designed play by Tony Navigado, their offensive coordinator. Bill Kreff says credit Tony Navigado for putting our players in good situations. That's what a good offensive coordinator does indeed do.
Franklin, get that thing stretched out. All indications are that it would be a cramp. Still on the sidelines, however. Saunders on the run. And a first down completion. Here early. Khalil Saunders has been putting on a show with his arm and his legs. He finds Ryan Malik. Malik's 22nd catch of the season.
Well, they flood the right side, a little rollout to the right. Squaring his shoulders, throwing a seed with Saunders. They had 3 receivers on that side. He went to the top of the tree and got his first down, depending the outcome of this flag.
Get a little electrical work done on our referee, David Minnick.
Illegal man downfield against the offense. 5 yards.
And that's something that you need to guard on when you have a quarterback like Saunders.
Yeah, and that was a design pass. On run pass options, you'll see that called a lot because the linemen are thinking it might be a run, not necessarily a pass with the option. That one, offensive lineman just got down 2 or 3 yards away from the neutral zone.
On the ground. Hard running. Taking the place of Kyle Franklin is Kevin Cook. Cook, 5'11", 195-pound junior. A tackling machine on defense and a sub in the backfield on offense. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. Bishop McNamara had a chance to tie. The IC defense stiffened up. We close out our first quarter, 1 score. Kyle Franklin, 11 yards. And that's it, 7-0 IC after 1. In a hurry, but want a fresh, affordable meal to serve your family or friends? Biaggi's Pronto Packs make it easy to enjoy an authentic Italian meal at home or on the go. Perfect for small groups and starting at just $30, the Pronto Pack comes with pasta, 2 pizzas, and a salad and bread with Biaggi's delicious butter for dipping. Biaggi's can take care of your large group as well with their delicious party pans. With 6 Illinois locations, Biaggi's Carryout is the perfect solution for your busy lifestyle. We start the second quarter with Patrick Reed and Edgy Tim O'Halloran on the field. Mark Lindo in the booth. I'm Dave Bernhardt. Glad you've joined us here. Our fourth game of the day features Bishop McNamara and IC Catholic, and it is the Knights with Khalil Saunders taking a big hit. Enough for a first down as he gets inside the 40.
Saunders had 41 yards rushing in the first quarter. Adds on to that for the tune of about 10. Kyle Franklin, before going out with an undisclosed injury, had 46 yards, a touchdown. Overall, 13 offensive plays for IC Catholic for 106 yards, 17 plays, 73 yards for Bishop Mac. And one more aside, Tyshawn King had 30 rushing yards in that battle of running backs.
Now Saunders will have to track it down. And the fumble and the recovery to Bishop McNamara. The recovery at the bottom, Ethan Parakis.
The Irish swarm to the football. That exchange was never clean of Saunders right there. He just didn't look it in, picks it up, never had full control. The cavalry came in. An excellent strip defensively right there by none other than Tyshawn King. And then Parakis comes in. When you're around the football, good things happen.
Boy, King zeroed in on that ball and had the clean swipe. Turnover gives Bishop McNamara the possession. Positive yardage on first down. These teams from the Metro Suburban Blue Conference, this is the first time that two teams from the same conference have played in a state championship game since 2007. That was when Naperville North and Glenbard met. They were both from the DuPage Valley. Now, what makes it interesting this weekend is we have two games that involve teams from the same conference. This game here, and then it will be Brother Rice and Loyola Academy coming your way tomorrow in 8A.
League bragging rights. I think they play some pretty good football in this conference.
It's the first year in the Metro Suburban for Bishop McNamara. They had been in the Catholic League, but it's a school with the enrollment of McNamara, enrollment of 572. Just had a tough time in terms of being able to match up week in and week out. Rich the Nanny says it was a good move. He loved the Chicago Catholic League, but admits this was really the best move for Bishop McNamara to head to the Metro Suburban.
This team coming off a tough year last year. What a great bounce back it's been to get to Champaign.
How about it? 3-6 last year, here to 12-1. Hiller going deep. Ball up for grabs. Oh my goodness! What a catch! Touchdown! Wilson Netherton.
42 yards on that play as Stephen Crady was right there, step for step on Netherton. That ball was thrown extremely well, just enough air to it. Now watch the time of the jump, just a little bit tardy. And the focus and the vision and the ability to stay after this. What poise to catch this football. Concentration into the end zone. Great catch.
And with that extra point, all of a sudden we're tied. Hill laid it out there and laid it up there. Netherton zeroes in. Touchdown and a tie score.
When you give that drive, mention they're set up by the fumble recovery by Parakis. So they turnover, points off turnovers.
That was a 42-yard touchdown?
Yeah.
Wilson Netherton earned that little drink of water because it's his touchdown reception that ties this game at 7 for Bishop McNamara, the Fighting Irish. Coming from Kankakee County, we mentioned the enrollment of 572 in last season. There was no playoffs in the Bishop McNamara postseason because the Fighting Irish finished 3-6. And yet we are tied here at 7. These two teams played to a 1-point game earlier this season. IC winning on a 50-yard touchdown pass with 16 seconds to play, and that's the direction we are headed right now. A little bit of room to the outside as Jake Litton on the return. That touchdown pass from Hiller to Netherton covered 42 yards. It kept a 3-play, 46-yard drive. It only took 91 seconds off the clock, and it was all set up by the fumble recovery from Ethan Parakis.
Yeah, Netherton with that great catch. It was almost like getting a rebound. Now, this is his first year playing football. Coming off the basketball team, wanted to give it a try. Why not? All he did, he's caught a 36-yard touchdown pass in the second round, a touchdown pass in the semifinals, and now a touchdown pass to knot things up in the state title game. Great vision, concentration, focus.
Nothing up the middle. A lot of green jerseys stacking it up. Franklin back into the ball game with that carry.
That's Franklin's 7th carry. He's got 47 yards. So neither one of the feature marquee backs, they've both been good, but they haven't been able to make that big play. Nice stick on the inside right there, following the play by Nick Menke.
A gain of about 6 inches. Franklin again. Franklin slips a tackle. Left sideline. Kyle Franklin brought down by Gerderding, but not before Kyle Franklin takes this inside the 20-yard line. Kyle Franklin goes for 42 yards.
He's back, no doubt about it. He sat a couple plays, a little bit of leg, but he looked pretty strong right there. A little outside zone, inside handoff, outside zone. Nice stalk block down the field. He picked up and read from Jalen Bates, his wide receiver, did the rest with speed and acceleration.
Two offenses that can explode at any moment. Saunders, oh, what a move in the backfield. Khalil Saunders on his feet to the end zone. It was the move at the backfield spot where he was standing. 17 yards later, IC goes on top.
Cue up the highlight tape on that one. You know what? You can draw plays, you can X and O's, but it's the Jimmy and the Joes right there. Little zone read. Now watch the plant. Make him miss. Then another cut. Then he just drags a couple people in the end zone. The last guy with a shot at him was Peyton Geverding, but just too strong in upper body for the quarterback Saunders. 6'2", 185. Just an electric play right there to light him up.
He will be holding for Tom Sloan. An exchange of touchdowns here in the last 68 seconds. 60 yards, 3 plays, the final 17 coming from quarterback Khalil Saunders. Knights looking to go back to back to back. We have a couple of offenses here in your 4A championship game that can light it up in a hurry, and that's what you have seen here in the last 68 seconds. First, it was a 42-yard pass from Hiller to Netherton for a score for Bishop McNamara. You saw a 42-yard run from Franklin. And then Khalil Saunders, 17 yards, and that takes us to our 14-7 IC lead.
Offense is starting to heat up. 18 plays, 159 yards for IC Catholic Prep. 20 plays, 119 yards for Bishop McNamara. And the running backs, Kyle Franklin just exploded. He's got 88 yards with a touchdown average, 11 yards per carry at this juncture.
Last 2 years, IC Catholic combined for a 78-0 score and winning the last 2 Class 3A titles. Success factor pushes them to 4A. They were one of the favorites at the beginning of the year to get to this very spot. Bishop McNamara on the other side, all through the season they were on that 3A, 4A bubble. Finally landed in 4A and had to get past the 2-time defending state champ and winners of 7 of the last 8 4A titles, Rochester, in the semifinals.
A great win that was. They were trailing that one and came back and put some big-time points on the board.
Let's go! Let's go!
Small seam, close quickly.
Caleb Smith on the return.
Ryan Malik on the stop. Caleb Smith on the return.
You know, it's so amazing when you talk to the coaches of each team, Coach Kraft and Coach Zananti, all they do is sing the praises of the other guy and how they like competing against each other. Rich Zananti right there in his 150th year of coaching. It only seems that way, but he's about as young as they come for a guy that's been walking. How many yards do you think he's put on the sidelines? My goodness.
King will get the pitch, and he'll come back this way. Tyshawn King didn't like the right side. He'll come to the left. Great tackle from Purdue-bound Khalil Saunders. You talk about these two coaches, Bill Kraft and Rich Zananti. How about earlier this season, back in September 14th to be exact, when IC Catholic won a thriller 21-20. After the ball game, Bill Kraft came over and talked to the Bishop McNamara team. He didn't know that they'd be meeting here in the 4A game.
Champagne, but at a different level, right?
Right, because it could have been a 3A, 4A situation. A little bit of trickery and some extra. Gerberding had King open, and a bit too much.
So Jack Roney opens up the playbook on that one. Gerberding with a pretty good shot at it. Found the streaking Tyshawn King down the sideline, but just a little bit too much giddy up on that ball. Just overthrew him. And a little bit of separation he had on Callie Saunders.
When we talked to Rich Zananti earlier in the week, and he talked about the familiarity, you could hear the twinkle in his eye over the phone, and I could somewhat see it when he said, we might do a few things just a little different. Throw some surprises in there, and that was one right there. Tyler Hiller into the flat. Now you look at the way these McNamara players run. This time it was Owen Jackson. You may get a hit on them. You better hang on. You better drag them down, because they will drag you a little bit as well. This is close to a first down.
Well, Callie Saunders just staying at home right there, making that one-on-one play. That's about using your eyes and following and reading your keys. He had the fullback responsibility of the backfield. He fulfilled it. That's why Saunders is a Big Ten type player.
And that is enough for a first down. Chains will move. The ball will be placed at the 43, and the Fighting Irish will keep it going with 7:45 to play here in the first half. State championships for McNamara back in 1982, 85, 86, 87, and then most recently in 2015. In that year, it was McNamara that eliminated IC Catholic from the playoffs. That's the last playoff loss the Knights have suffered. Tough run from right to left. King will bounce to his feet.
This whole McNamara program is based on fundamentals. When you have the coach with a history of Rich Zananti, it's all about blocking and tackling, the basic fundamentals of football. And then you throw in a little bit of Tyshawn King to the fundamentals, and you have yourself a team that has made the state finals.
Ball now in IC territory.
Knights in a 4-3 base defense right now.
First man is Jackson. And after that first hit, keeps those feet moving, drives forward. Another first down. These are two hard-running backs, and Owen Jackson and Tyshawn King.
Nice compliment Owen Jackson's been tonight to King. Everyone's keen on King on that third down situation. Jackson gets it, just kind of bulldozes and bull grades his way in to the first down yardage to the 45.
King, nothing doing.
King, the ball carrier.
Number 56, Alonzo Howard, just a sophomore.
56, Alonzo Howard. And 44, Kevin Cook.
Howard playing the edge, defensive end, held the edge, didn't let King bump into the outside. Not only did his primary responsibility holding the edge, but then cleaned it up and made the play himself. Big, strong, physical person is Alonzo Howard, 6'1" and 2 1/4.
One of the young players in this team, and this was a young team last year for IC. 14 in the class to start the championship game. And the folks that are on the field right now are going to chase down that guy. Tyshawn King, the big gain. And a late flag thrown right in the middle. Gain was to the 25. 21-yard run. Let's see if there may be some more added on.
Personal foul, face mask against the defense. Number 13, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
36 net yards on this. There's a pretty solid run by King. And then the late face mask, kind of a tough one right there. And then a little bit of, what are you doing tonight? Going for pizza?
yeah, that's what that was.
At the end of that play. Ever so kindly, I picked up on that conversation.
Ball at the 13-yard line. Bishop McNamara looking to match the touchdown scored by IC just a few minutes ago. A little miscommunication as to which pole we were going to hit or which side I was going to hand off, because Tyler Hiller and Tyshawn King did not have that communication going.
Boy, Ricky Misselwood just blew this play up. You talked about the 310-pounder, how long he's been around to play with huge emotion, pumped those fists in the air. He knew he made a play that his defense badly needs down here as Bishop McNamara in the red zone. See if they move the pocket right now for quarterback Hiller, who's had a great year.
Little flick to Gerberding, and that will be an interference call. Khalil Saunders face guarding Gerberding.
And to explain this a little bit more, it's just a little fade pattern. And what happens is contact and didn't find the football with Saunders. Official right on top of it. It was just a little go route in the corner.
Against the defense, number 9. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Couple of penalties here. The ball got inside the 30-yard line. And this ball will be now placed at the 7. 4:36 to play here in the first half.
Saunders' father, Avery Weston, is assistant coach for IC.
King blasts through, then twists through the line. We'll get to about the 3. It'll be third down. About a yard and a half to go. Maybe a full 2, actually. They spot the ball at the 4. King here will slot to the left. Jackson in the backfield with Hiller. Hiller, little delay. He didn't get much. It'll be fourth down.
Little quarterback draw, staying right at home, reading his keys, was Kevin Akins to make that stop, a design quarterback run when a lot of the attention was going to go to Tyshawn King.
Coming from the backside, Akins 6'1", 245-pounder.
Kankakee.
And McNamara will take a timeout. It's a big play coming up on 4th down and 2. Here's Bill Kreft. You know, and he leaves a lot of his coaching up to his assistants, so very trustful of them. For the best coverage of the IHSA Championship games, turn to High School Lights, presented by Wintrust. That comes your way tomorrow night at 11 on NBC Sports Chicago, or you can live stream at NBCSportsChicago.com. That'll be the last football edition of High School Lights. Basketball getting it all rolling after this. High School Lights tomorrow at 11.
Let's see what they dial it up here after the timeout. Have plenty of time to talk. Look, Jack Roney, look over his charts, tendencies, down, distance. Defense can be clogged in the middle. You know where the attention's going. Let's see if they roll the pocket here.
4th down and 2. Motion from King. Hiller looking his way. Hiller will have to pull it down. He'll stretch, and that should be enough. It'll be very close, though. Ricky Misowick was right there. Hiller felt him and then reached out. I don't know that he did get it. You can see it for yourself across the way. Boy, what a great effort from Hiller.
They did indeed roll the pocket. Hiller with an option, looking downfield. His eyes were there, looking for the touchdown pass. Instead, he sees nothing there. Coverage was excellent, and he knew where the stick was at. Did he get there?
He did. And again, what was impressive about this to me was he was ready to just keep on running. Keep an eye on it here. I believe he felt Misowick and said, okay, I've got to stretch a bit more. There he is. You know, that's a great job there. I don't know that he sensed him so much as he had the big bear hug, but the idea that he had enough body control and twist and made sure that right knee did not touch the ground.
Buys himself 4 more downs as they hurry. They'll snap this in a hurry.
This will be the 15th play of the drive. It goes to King. To the 1.
Ball control. They've had the football almost 6 minutes on this drive.
They have taken this since Khalil Saunders scored on a 17-yard run. And now the Fighting Irish just a yard away.
16 plays. Ball control.
Does King get the call again? He does. Hit. Driven back. That may have been Khalil Saunders that got the first hit on him. Well, now they'll say touchdown. No.
One official saying touchdown, one saying 3rd down.
Well, I don't know that he got there. That's a tough situation for the officials here. 2 people with opposite signals. I think they're going to say 3rd down. They have the ball placed inside the 1-yard line.
You're right, Khalil Sanders really just busted that up. He came in, just shot the gap and slowed him down.
Kankakee.
Bishop McNamara takes its 2nd timeout on this possession. They'll have 1 remaining, 2:05 left. Boy, what a crucial drive this has been for the Fighting Irish. 17 plays, 66 yards. They have taken 6 minutes and 45 seconds off this clock here in the 2nd quarter.
But they're not in the pay dirt yet. They still got to get the job done. It's been an impressive drive for Coach Zanani. You see him walking the sidelines talking to his coaching staff.
There's not much room between that football and that goal line.
Side of the official's shoe.
King, and that's the score. Tyshawn King brings his team within one.
TJ Nels on the right side, Liam Beltran the center, and Isaac Reuter, one of the best young linemen on the right side tackle. Open that seam right there. Just power football. We're coming down at you. Stop us if you can. Another touchdown run by Tyshawn King.
Preston Lade, as the rain starts to fall once again in Champaign, will send it through, and we are tied. We have alternated touchdowns tonight. This is the most recent. The touchdown run from Tyshawn King. That's his 48th touchdown of the season. On the ground, he has another 4 receiving. Incredible numbers.
As he points to the sky, gets a well-deserved drink of water, getting some water from the air now as the rain's starting to pick up down in the Urbana-Champaign area. 48 touchdowns, that's obscene. It really is. You talk about the nose for the end zone, a guy that can make things happen in a myriad of ways.
All-Stater. A not-to-lose attitude, according to his coach.
Talk to his team. He's a leader of his team. And Fighting Irish will trail a little bit and pull the team together. He says, it's time we start punching them in the mouth. And that kind of is the bread and butter of football, if you will, the physicality, that part of the game. And these are 2 physical football teams right here playing. So there's some big time hits.
Lade will kick this off. The wind at his back. Return from about the 14-yard line. Good coverage by Bishop McNamara. Ball got up there, hung up in the air a little bit. Return from Stephen Brady. Bishop McNamara cheerleaders. They are going to be wet here because this rain is coming down pretty good right now.
It's been in and out for the last few hours.
So now it's IC's turn. That's about as heavy as it's been here all afternoon and evening. We saw it have somewhat of an impact in our 3A game. Monticello, the 3A champions, knocked off Byron. Is there enough time here for the Knights? Saunders takes a pretty good hit. That's a hard-earned 5 yards. Saunders scored a touchdown, a 17-yard run.
Well, he runs, and the average is 8.1 yards per carry, so he's a dangerous threat as a quarterback running player.
You look left, he comes right to Cook. And Cook fumbles out of bounds. He took a big-time hit. And that ball just slowly dribbled away from Bishop McNamara.
Cook's a big young man at 5'11", 195 strong, but he took this one. Ball came loose, but to no avail. Bishop McNamara right around it. The ball went out of bounds in the boundary area. But watch this hit at contact. There's a little screen pass, 2 blockers out in front. And then, guess who? Tyshawn King, who's just started to play more defense the last couple weeks, and why not?
You know, and last year he played almost exclusively on defense, only rushed for 400 yards. Rich and Nanny questioning himself now about that. Franklin will have enough for the first down. That'll stop the clock with 1:20 to play. All 3 timeouts remaining here for IC Catholic Prep.
Yeah, he carries the ball so much, you want to keep him on the sideline sometime, get him some rest. But semifinals, quarterfinals, state championship, you got to get him on the field. Does you no good on the boundary.
Look in the backfield with Saunders. A lot of time all day. Down the middle, knocked away. Damon Brooks, 5'8" senior. Strong safety will turn this one away and bring up a 2nd down and 10.
He's 122 tackles on the year. This time he just reached Saunders' eyes. He had help over the top coming as well. He knew that. He had Manny Hennis on the side. But what a great individual plays timing that one.
Knights will take the timeout with 61 seconds to play in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll hear from Patrick Reed and Edgy Tim O'Halloran. We'll take a look at this first half, get some highlights, we'll check out some stats, recap what's going on here today. Our first of 2 days here that crowned 8 state champions in Illinois.
Bishop McNamara, like many teams down here, they have some assistant coaches like Curtis Crosley, Kurt Belisle, Mike Vickery, Alan Rude. Those guys all played at Bishop McNamara.
When coming to Champaign for the state finals in a Illini game or just to visit, there's only one place to stay. That's Champaign Suites, which in 2019 will soon become Holiday Inn. Located just 4 blocks from Memorial Stadium, Champaign Suites. Clean, comfortable rooms are a welcome sight while away from home. They're fully equipped with a fitness center and indoor pool. And also, coming in 2019, a restaurant and bar to make your stay even more enjoyable. Champaign Suites, a place to stay in Champaign. After the timeout, Franklin, room. He'll make more room. He'll be inside the 40-yard line.
Kyle Franklin, the ball carrier.
David Vargas, what a great block. It was out front, and then Franklin just followed big old number 57 for a big chunk of 27.
I see, wasting no time, back to the line. Franklin again.
Kyle Franklin, the ball carrier.
The hole closes quickly.
Tackled by 6, Dorian Ottman. Gain of 3.
Franklin will head off the field. Clock on the move, 25 seconds left. Another tough snap for Saunders. Big time trouble. He'll do the best he can and stop the clock with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Lil Saunders, ball carrier.
That's at least the second, maybe the
third. Out of bounds by 21, Damian Thornton.
Issue between snap and catch by center quarterback exchange.
Kyle Franklin, 11 carries in the first half for IC Catholic.
Loss of 5 yards.
121 yards.
At the 38-yard line with 15 seconds ago, they got a couple timeouts, but they are in a position to take a shot downfield. He can let it go from this far.
Gets good protection, and now it closes. And who will have this one? Recovery for IC Catholic, Michael Johnson. Well, all of a sudden, it got serious in a hurry when Caleb Smith broke through to knock it away.
Yeah, he came from his blind side.
IC Catholic.
Plenty of time initially, looked downfield, he surveyed, didn't have that presence of mind to know it was coming down from the backside. He was looking left, and Smith came from the right. And Caleb Smith, the sophomore, with a strip.
Well, IC will take the timeout. They've got to go end zone hunting here with 6 seconds left. There's a look again at Smith coming, and he beats Ricky Misselwick. That was impressive. Around Misselwick, the 310-pounder.
Well, Misselwick got sealed to the outside. He went with a swim move, dove inside of Misselwick's block, and once he got by him, it was speed to the QB.
McNamara fans are saying we need one more play from our defense. IC Catholic, one play for the lead.
Well, they played almost 6 quarters, and the score is 35-34. I mean,
right,
can't get any closer. My goodness.
Lil Saunders again, trouble with the snap. He's going to crank it up. Knocked away, and the clock goes 0-0-0. Couple of teams hailing from the same conference. 2 teams that played to a 1-point game back in the middle of September. And two teams that are tied at halftime here in your 4A championship ball game. We've alternated touchdowns. Franklin, an 11-yard run for IC Catholic. Netherton, a 42-yard pass reception from Hiller for Bishop McNamara. Saunders answers with a 17-yard run. Then Bishop McNamara, a long drive, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Tyshawn King. It is 14-14 after 2 quarters. Let's go down to the field.
Trying to get there. So.
Hey guys, here with Rich Zanani. What did you like? There was a lengthy drive, a big defensive stand there at the end of the quarter. What do you like from your team?
Well, we're just starting to get the rhythm. It's hard to stop that stuff that they run, and I think our defense is starting to get in the rhythm to stop it. Took us a while, and then we're getting better rhythm on offense right now, too. So hopefully second half will start a little better.
Yeah, a lot of familiarity between your teams. It becomes something of a chess match with IC Catholic Prep. What do you think it takes to get over that hump in the second half?
It's a great rivalry. We've been playing them now for about 5 years, and it goes back and forth every year. So they know what we do, and we know what they do. So the little wrinkles are probably what's going to make the difference.
All right, looking good forward to a good second half. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Guys?
All right, thank you very much, Patrick. It is what we were hoping to get, is what we were expecting to get. 14-14, and how do we get there? Well, after the first quarter that saw one score, Khalil Saunders danced in, powered his way in from 17 yards out. And Wilson Netherton, bobbling catch, gets into the end zone. 14-all here at the half.
The rain falls at Memorial Stadium in Champaign for our final game of the day, the Class 4A Championship. IC Catholic and Bishop McNamara all tied up at 14. Patrick Reed, Edgy Tim here underneath some cover here in Memorial Stadium. And Edgy, in that first half, Bishop McNamara had some impressive moments, especially that lengthy drive of the second quarter to chew up time, 15-plus plays. They come away with the 7 points.
Well, that is a Rich Zanani patented drive. I mean, that is what Bishop Mac has done for decades and decades. You run, you grind it out, a couple of big plays, a big pass here or there, but bottom line is you're able to put that drive together, chew up clock, and again, if that's up to Rich, that's what they want to do every single drive.
But they do come away with the points, and then a chance for IC Catholic Prep there at the end of the second quarter, and big defense coming through.
And again, it comes back to, you know, high level of talent here in 4A on both sides, and again, you're seeing those stars stand out in this ball game, and again, it's what we thought it was going to be. We're not right very often, but every once in a while we get lucky, and that's exactly how this game has gone down. It's pretty much according to plan, Patrick. We're tied, and you know, who knows, probably last possession can wind up winning this one.
And one guy who has impressed on both sides of the ball for the Fighting Irish, Tyshawn King, punching it in and then making big defensive plays as well.
He is, and he's done that all year, and I certainly hope from a recruiting standpoint a game like this catches even more attention.
Sure.
Because he's a terrific back. He really is, and I know he's gotten some looks, and I think another showing like this, and he's going to show a lot more schools what he's capable of, and doing it on the biggest stage in the state always helps your cause.
You said this off camera as we were talking about Rich Zanani and his wealth of knowledge and experience. And what do you think he does in the second half to change things up, given how familiar these two teams are with each other?
Well, again, a lot of what you're doing is working. So I mean, you don't want to wholeheartedly change things. But as we talked in the pregame, Rich has got a little something up his sleeve. He's got something in the back pocket he's holding on to. He's going to bring that out at the right time, and that's key, the right time in this second half.
You can open up the book after 44 years, and 40 years removed from his first state championship appearance. It's amazing.
And the same attitude and the same approach, and he's the same guy now than he was way back in the day, and that's what you got to love about him. And again, just he's a treasure in Illinois high school football. There's no doubt about it.
Well, Bishop McNamara and IC Catholic Prep tied up at 14 apiece through one half of play here in Champaign. We'll be back and we'll talk more Knights when we return. good.
He's good.
Our NBC Sports Chicago crew doing a great job capturing the images through the rain here at Memorial Stadium in Champaign. Everybody hanging tough on this Friday night. Game 4 of 4, Class 4A Championship. It's Bishop McNamara and IC Catholic Prep. Patrick Reed, Edgy Tim back with you. 14-14 is our score. So on the IC Catholic Prep side, we knew Kyle Franklin coming in was going to be a factor, and he got slowed up a little bit in the first half by an injury.
He did. Got a little dinged up, and it was a shame because I think he was averaging 8 or 9 yards a carry up until then. But fortunately came back late in the second quarter, had a couple of nice runs as well in the second quarter, and you want to see that. You want to see your best on the field and hopefully be able to finish the second half.
This week when Bill Kraft talked to us, he talked about the big boy numbers that Kyle Franklin is putting up, and you see some of the work he's doing there. Now kind of a big boy moment to come back from some adversity and try to make something happen for his team. And
again, you look for that. And here's the thing, Patrick, he's only a sophomore.
It's unbelievable.
He's a sophomore. This has really been, and this will be a storyline for tomorrow as well. Sophomores in prevalent roles on the varsity for teams in the state title, and certainly Kyle is one of those.
Well, Kyle's the type of guy who's been a fun player to be around.
I like those guys. I like those guys. You got to have fun. I mean, look at this. Okay?
What are we doing here?
You know, you got to have fun, and the fans are having fun. We're having fun, and again, that's what this is all about, no doubt.
And he really drives that forward for his team. Now, Bill Kraft's defense had to deal with a lengthy drive from Bishop McNamara. That can be something that can really drag a team down. What do they do in the second half to come back from that?
Well, I think again, you just kind of settle the troops down a little bit, and you go over the game plan, and you just get back at it. I mean, this is it, Patrick. You're laying it all out on the line for this game. You've led up to this. You knew this was going to be close. You knew this going in. You knew that these two are going to come back and forth. But again, it's important. You want to get some early momentum and keep it. No question.
Bill Kraft's team has some interesting experience in its sideline as well. Matt Bowen is a player, or rather a coach, an NFL player, a longtime NFL player who's had that experience, and that's a unique element for this team to have.
Well, it's okay, a little story time with Edgy here. So I've known Matt for a while, and here's a guy that's on ESPN. He does all this NFL stuff. He's in the middle of doing that, and he's texting me about 4A playoff high school football. That is the guy that Matt Bowen is. He is a football junkie. He loves it every level, and he'll tell you this has been one of the more enjoyable things he's done is to come back and coach at the high school level. And you can tell, Patrick, the guy absolutely loves being out here.
When I talked to him before the game, and he talked about just that, being passionate about what he's doing, having fun doing what he's doing.
He does, and again, to just all the, I mean, he goes from the NFL stuff, he follows college as part of that, and loves to go off to practice and practice with his kids, and again, you know, just really a great ambassador from the state of Illinois when it comes to football, and he's done a terrific job in his personal side as well.
All right, Edgy Tim, second half adjustments for both teams.
Well, again, it's kind of taking the easy way out, but everything's kind of working. So I don't know. Again, we mentioned maybe Rich and Bill might have one or two things up their sleeve, and you've got one half left. So you're going to leave everything on the field. You're going to let it go. You're going to let everything loose, and should be fun to watch. But again, I'm expecting tight and bonus. Oh, I won't say it. But I won't say it. But it's going to be very, very tight here. Okay.
And the rain, is that going to be a factor?
Yeah, it always is, because I mean, you know, a bad snap here, a bad handoff there, and I guarantee you the message priority number one right now with these guys and Bishop Mac, ball security, no question.
They both put it on the ground. Which team does it affect more?
Wow, that's a really good question. That's why you're a professional.
I'm trying to catch you off guard a little
bit. You know,
bit.
I would say at this point, I think IC's more of a momentum team. I think especially if they're in a drive and they turn one over, I think they're going to feel it a little bit more than Bishop Mac at this point. We'll see.
Should be an interesting second half as we are tied 14 apiece. Bishop McNamara, IC Catholic Prep in the Class 4A Championship here in Champaign, Rainy Memorial Stadium. We'll have more when we return. $14 apiece as we head to the second half. IC Catholic Prep and Bishop McNamara. I'm here with IC Catholic Prep coach Bill Kraft. And what was your message to your group coming out for the second half?
Just finish. Have fun, finish. We understand the kind of team that we're facing. Know the conditions are changing. Make sure that we pay attention to the details and finish our season.
How's Kyle Franklin look to you?
He's fine. Tweaked it a little bit, but he's been running fine since then.
What else do you think is a key in the second half to walk away with a state championship?
We got to tackle 5. 5's a good football player. Our defense has to tackle 5. We knew that going in. Eliminate big plays. We got to go back to our base stuff. So we're running our base system, doing our system well, and just going to try to execute.
All right, enjoy the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
14 apiece in Champaign. Back with the guys upstairs. David Mark in the second half after this.
Everything you saw there is what our first half has been. The score, the highlights, and the rain. Here's your first half stats. First of all, for IC Catholic, 190 yards on the ground. Haven't done really anything in the air. And on the other side, 165 total yards for Bishop McNamara.
Well, that running game, Kyle Franklin had 121 with a touchdown in the first half. Tyshawn King, this is going to sound strange, was held to 69 yards. He can bust one anytime. That's a pretty doggone good half. But just amazing that both these teams have just played neck and neck for 6 consecutive quarters now. Who will have the big play first?
With the win here in the third quarter will be IC Catholic, and that ball has been a slippery one tonight for the Knights. But speaking of slippery, how about those moves? Rashad Sabay, ball slips out of his hand, but he found an opening, and the Knights have great field position here to start the second half.
Sabay, a 6'1" junior, 165 pounds, caught that one. It bounced right up to him. Look at that funny bounce. Comes right to him, makes one man miss, then picked up some nice blocking downfield. And enviable field position for Bill Kreff's offense right here.
Again, the ball just kind of floating around here. The rain is maintaining itself fairly consistently, and we expect this to continue throughout the second half.
Damian Thornton, depending on the play. Saunders' pass is intended with Ryan.
It's a matter of getting the good grip on the ball, whether you're throwing, whether you're running. And it's second down and 10. A good look at number 43, Brandon Courtney. Saunders. He's able to find enough for the first down. Well, we saw in the opening drive of this ball game, quarterback Khalil Saunders making the right reads and seeing the field so beautifully. This is how he's starting out the second half.
Well, he's such a smart player. He can make reads in the run game. He can make reads in the run pass option game. And he's a leader in his own right. That's why he's brought his team to this title game.
He pulls it out of Franklin's belly, and he will keep it himself.
You know, IC Catholic Prep has an awful lot of good wins. I mean, they shut out Joliet Catholic Academy, you know, 5A team in tomorrow's title game early in the season. That's the kind of quality. It was like 42-0, I think.
Right, that was in the second week of the season. Yeah, that puts it all in perspective, right?
Yeah, that kind of cleans it up.
Joliet Catholic playing tomorrow against Montini when we get started at 10 a.m. Nathan Believa and Mark Lindo on the call of that game, along with Patrick Reed and Edgy Tim. We'll get you through this 4A game here tonight. And not much of a pickup there, if any. But 42-0, you knock off the 5A school. That kind of set the wheels spinning for a lot of folks thinking that IC Catholic would be here. The only question was who's going to meet them on the other end. A lot of people thought Rochester might be here to try to defend their title for the third straight year. Instead, Bishop McNamara knocked off the Rockets last weekend, 52-42. Franklin's able to slip through one tackle. stopped short, about a yard short.
We have two such special backs that even when there's not a scene, get a good look at the young man Kyle Franklin. Even there's not a scene, they're just fun to watch because there's excitement that you're going to be making a call for a stop and boom, he's going to sprint out and make a play.
It's 4th down, a yard to go here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. There's the first down, not by much. On the tackle, Ethan Paracas. He had a key fumble recovery in the 2nd quarter, a fumble recovery that led 91 seconds later to a game-tying touchdown pass from Tyler Hiller to Wilson Netherton. Franklin, a little gimpy coming off.
Gets enough for the first down. Nice block right on the edge by his teammate Cam Hood to free him, but he'll be escorted to the sideline and checked out again by the training staff.
Fresh set of downs. This is Cook. Gets a block to get to the outside. Inside the 25-yard line, Kevin Cook, a tackling machine on defense, getting the offensive carries here on this side. And there's Franklin again. Just can't get that loosened up enough.
You got different running styles. Cook's been very effective. He's just downhill, a little bit of thunder in his step rather than the elusiveness of Franklin. Nice compliment to each other.
He gets it again. First down, Knights.
See, Cook, he'll just pound right at you between the tacklers, using his blockers up front. Johnson, Barty, Kennelly, Vargas, and Misselwick. Watch a little inside handoff there. A little zone blocking led through. Once again, a nice block for the second consecutive play by Cam Hood.
Hood and Cook in the backfield along with Saunders. Cook able to shake one tackle, and a little bit disgusted with himself as Caleb Smith. He thought he had Kevin Cook for a loss. You know, and Edgy made a great point at halftime talking to Patrick when he said, not really many adjustments to be made when you know these teams as well as you do.
Well, teams do what they're going to do. They are who they are. And I see Nor Bishop Mack is going to blink. They're just going to take this one to the final gun and see, this is going to come by some big play, some explosive play.
This is going to be Saunders all by himself. Not much room to work with. He's inside the 5-yard line. Well, he gets to that corner and is so elusive just with his little shake and bake type moves.
Yeah, but at the same time, he is elusive, but he's so strong and physical. 6'2", 195. And look at the hit he just puts on the DB of Bishop McNamara and Jefferson. Listen to this hit.
Good hitting going on downfield. Cook shakes one. He's down to the 1.
So Saunders has been so chunkish with his runs tonight. He has 6 plays of over 10 yards carrying the football. Most of those on zone reads, a couple of those on quarterback powers.
Looking for the go-ahead score. And there it is. Kevin Cook into the end zone. In a 20-14 IC Catholic Prep lead.
Penetration by Dorian Altman from the Fighting Irish, but too much strength. Kevin Cook, as he bulldozes a punishing type run into the end zone. And a little celebration. I don't know that handshake, but those guys know from each other. Look at his low pad level, his lower leg drive, not to be denied.
So with Kyle Franklin on the bench for a carry here in this drive, Kevin Cook takes over. Now Tom Sloan looking to make it once again a 7-point game. And as we have all night long, we have alternated touchdowns. A 12-play, 54-yard drive. It opens up the 3rd quarter. Took 4 minutes and 26 seconds. The final yard coming from Kevin Cook. And it's a 21-14 IC lead. A 21-14 lead for IC Catholic over Bishop McNamara, and that's a sight that McNamara fans do not want to see. Tyshawn King with an ATI representative, more from Patrick Reed.
Yeah, guys, Tyshawn King did not put his helmet on to start this second half. He's been trying to get it back and get into the game, but he appears to be moving somewhat gingerly on the sideline. Bishop McNamara representatives say that he is questionable to return in this game.
He looks like he's trying to talk himself into a chance to get back on the field. I don't know if that's going to happen. So McNamara playing without Earl Stater. Fighting Irish will start from about the 32-yard line. Well, we came into this game, Mark, talking about Kyle Franklin, Tyshawn King, and we saw Franklin gimpy in that last drive, and now we see King on the sidelines.
And not surprising because of the physicality of these two teams, the cold weather, the physicality, the hard hits, the fact that you see some people playing both sides of the football. It's an incredibly physical game, and you know, do the supporting cast need to step up? Absolutely, because if Tyshawn King's not in the game, you've lost your long ball threat, your grand slam hitter, and maybe, just maybe, Damon Brooks will be the one that steps in and can fill that void.
Or might that become Tyler Hiller that will have to go to the air a bit more?
Good point.
He will start it off. On the slant, Netherton cannot hang on. Coverage from Chauncey Lee. Lee with an interception return for a touchdown in the semifinal win over Richmond Burton. There's Tyler Hiller, 5'11", 185-pound junior. Mark mentioned early in the game, McNamara early in the season ran. They did not need to open up the offense. Then all of a sudden, team started packing the box. That's when Hiller opened it up. He had a 6-touchdown passing effort earlier in the playoffs. That one's a dangerous one, and it's intercepted. That ball took a long time to get there, and Khalil Saunders will get the pick.
Special athletes make special plays at special times of the game. Hiller threw that ball on an out pattern. Khalil Saunders just sitting down. He's going to take a hit after the pass, so he does not get a lot on that football. Good pressure, and a big pick by Khalil Saunders.
It was Misselwick all over Hiller. That's one of the reasons right there that Khalil Saunders is committed to Purdue.
Good shot of Misselwick. Moves really well for a big fella.
Khalil Saunders isn't going to go anywhere. It's Damian Thornton that would not let go.
So right now, Bishop McNamara, you know, their star was on the boundary of that series. They need to have their defense make something really good to happen. And I'm not just talking about a stop. They need to create some kind of turnover right here. Because with their home run hitter on the bench, they would have a difficult time if this goes to a 2-score game.
To the outside. Franklin inside the 30-yard line. He'll be close to a first down. He was stopped and then just kept the feet moving.
Well, what a chiseled body you see at number 20 there. Just, oh, so tough to bring down. A little inside handoff. He bounces once, bounces twice. Stop and go. Catch me if you can. And he takes a couple defenders with him with just an exhilarating run right there.
Yards short of a first down. He will get it again. There's the first down. And more. Franklin will bust it inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, is Cam Hood going to grade out tonight, 26 yards, and it would have been nothing if Hood wouldn't have had a block at the point of attack. Watch number 21 lead right there with a great seal. And once you do that, it's all number 20 in space. Kyle Franklin.
And now at the 2-yard line. Franklin quite there yet. He was cut by Caleb Smith.
Kyle Franklin on the carry. Tackled by Ethan Baracus.
So the interception from Khalees Saunders puts IC Catholic in position. The run by Franklin and a chance for a 2-touchdown lead. 167 yards and 16 carries tonight for Franklin. And he's not going to get there this time. It's Damon Brooks. It will upend Franklin. It's 3rd and goal.
Bishop McNamara, they got to put their cleats in the ground right now. This could be a stop that would regain momentum for them, but they still got to get 2 more sticks. Once again, going to the boundary.
Play call coming in from that sideline. Khalil Saunders, the quarterback. Saunders will take the snap. He will keep it. He will be grabbed, and down he goes. The Fighting Irish stiffening. Number 55, Liam Bertrand.
That was a great goal line stand. Good penetration. 1, 2, 3 green hats to the football to keep them out of the end zone.
Now it will be Tom Sloan. He's only attempted 1 field goal this year. He missed that one. This one is through, and the turnover. The interception from Saunders leads to 3 points. And it leads to a 10-point lead at 24-14. And how did this drive start? It started on the defensive side. Tyler Hiller for Bishop McNamara looking to create some offense with Tyshawn King on the bench. Throws this pass, and Khalees Saunders right there. Kyle Franklin, part of his 167 yards on the night. Bishop McNamara stiffens. IC Catholic will settle for 3, but it's a 10-point lead for the Knights. Championship football continues tomorrow on NBC Sports Chicago at 10 o'clock in the morning. Watch Montini take on Joliet Catholic for the IHSA Class 5A title. Of course, you can also stream the game live on NBCSportsChicago.com. Join us back in about, 12 hours or so. Montini and Joliet Catholic in 5A.
24-14, a little bit of separation. That separation is because at this juncture in the football game, 275 total yards now for IC Catholic. Got 110 more than Bishop Mac with a 276 rushing.
Fair catch call at the 30-yard line. You saw there Tyshawn King with his helmet on. He has walked across the sideline. Appears as if he may re-enter this game.
And that would be a big help to Tyler Hiller, of course. And Hiller's got to do one thing. He's got to wash that last play. He's just got to wash it out of his mind. The next play is the one that you have to make. And he's got a playmaker back on the field right now as number 5, Tyshawn King, his best friend in the running back situation, walks in.
Owen Jackson will be in the front of the eye in front of King. Play action. Hiller floats it. Did not come out of his hand cleanly. He was looking for Peyton Gerberding, who was well covered.
What I really like about that, 2 things. One, you see Tyler Hiller go to his chest. My bad, that's not me. But I really like Jack Roney coming out and throwing the football again on first down after Hiller had been intercepted. He knows he's going to need his young junior quarterback to make some plays. He showed incredible confidence coming out on first down on that particular series.
You notice they faked that handoff to Tyshawn King. When he took the field, he did not look comfortable running out there. You wonder whether maybe some sort of a decoy. Let's see how this drive plays out. He is sliding to the left side and takes off downfield, opens the door for Hiller. Yard short is Cook was the stop sign him. But you got to look at Tyshawn King just out of the corner of your screen heading downfield. He did not look like he was running smoothly.
Still running gingerly. They put him out in the slot on that play at the far side by the boundary. He ran a down, out, and down, just enough. See him at the top of your screen in the slot, and not real clean with his cuts at the top of your screen, but enough to know, hey, number 5's on the field. You got to account for him.
And he's in the backfield right now on 3rd down and a yard. He'll get the ball. And we'll wait to see where this ball is spotted. It appears it may be enough for the 1st down, and there it is. The referee, David Minnick, says let the chains move. And we harken back to the 2nd quarter when Bishop McNamara went on that long drive. And that's pretty much what they need right here. Rain continuing to fall. Hillard not come up with it as he was looking for Wilson Netherton. He has a 42-yard touchdown reception tonight.
Well, you go back to Bishop McNamara trailing by 10 right now. They were down 14-0 against Effingham in the quarterfinal round. Didn't blink at all. Came back and scored 42 points after being shot in the 1st quarter to win that one 42-35. So yes, indeed, they've trailed and come from behind in these playoffs.
Pocket collapses for Hiller. He will have to create. And he cannot outrun Kevin Cook, who is always near the ball. Also in on the stop is number 56, Alonzo Howard.
But Kevin Cook is a football player. He's come in and filled some voids on offense. And Cook is always in the kitchen of a would-be ball carrier. He's just a tackling machine.
Cook, a torn ACL last year. He has bounced back in a big way. Still just a junior. 3rd and long. King threw in motion. Go back the other way. That ball was nearly intercepted. Oh my. Kevin Akins was right there, the big guy. Yeah, he knows he had an opportunity for an interception and a big-time highlight.
6'1", 245. He would have been rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling into the end zone, but just couldn't finish it. King, the last 6 rushes, a net of 2 yards. And the key there is, you know, how much is that nagging ding, if you will, affecting his running game?
And it certainly appears to be. And things starting to fall down around Bishop McNamara here. Peyton Gerberding, his knee touched the ground before he kicked it. And that means IC will have the ball right there.
Great shot of that. Definitely down. The ball will be placed where the knee went down. IC Catholic Prep with a very short field to survey right now, at the verge of having this game completely busting open in the 3rd quarter.
Well, as much as Bishop McNamara looked like they're in total rhythm offensively in the 1st half, it has not felt that way at all here in the 2nd half. Let's see if the Knights look to strike quickly. Straight run from Saunders. Good pickup on 1st down. We're under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. It was 14-14 at the half.
Franklin got out in front as a blocker on that particular play. Solid 1st down pickup, 2nd and short. Offensive coordinator's Tony Navigado dream.
The race to sideline will be won by McNamara. Ethan Parakis, a tackle for a loss. And there you see Franklin. It's not a comfortable gait leaving the field.
Baracus has had a solid football game for his team tonight. Made some key individual stops, involved in a fumble situation. Been an emotional leader tonight. He's trying to pump up his sideline right now, emotionally.
3rd down and 7 here for the Knights from IC. Saunders will be short. Well, you keep an eye on Khalil Saunders. I always feel like he's a moment away from just bouncing off of somebody and taking it.
There's a touchdown waiting to happen.
There you go.
What good tackling by, I tell you what, Bishop McNamara has showed an awful lot of grit. They have that goal line stand, forced a field goal, and now they have this turnover to 30, and looks like they have a chance to make the last stop.
And that last stop will have to come in the 4th quarter. We have played through 3. 3rd quarter won by IC Catholic Prep. 10-0. Rich Zanani in search of his 6th state title, but his team down by 10 as the Knights have come back strong here in the 3rd. Here in Champaign, your Class 4A state championship finds IC Catholic on top of Bishop McNamara 24-14. We go back 1 year ago, though. We go to DeKalb and Husky Stadium. We go to Class 3A. This is IC Catholic, the opponent, Pleasant Plains. And the man who did the dirty business for IC Catholic's number 22, Lazarick Eatman. Eatman went for 4 touchdowns en route to a 237-yard day, and IC Catholic goes back-to-back in Class 3A. And now they will look to add a 3rd straight title. This one would be in 4A if they can hold on here in the final 12 minutes. Big 3rd quarter for IC Catholic. In the 3rd, the Knights, 21 plays totaling 94 yards. Bishop McNamara a net of -1 yard in the 9 plays the Fighting Irish ran.
Total domination. They've done it offensively and defensively in the 2nd half, taking total command of this game. Franklin with 164 yards rushing. Khalil Sanders now over 100 yards of his own, 200-yard rushers for the Knights.
Saunders looking for more. And this offense has looked smooth here in the 2nd half.
If you have a quarterback that can run like he is, the decisions he made, especially in the 1st half, now they're going to design runs to him. Anytime the focus goes to Franklin, Saunders makes the next play.
To the 5 and in the end zone, and a flag is down. Right at the end, just as Franklin crossed the goal line, a flag was thrown behind the play.
Holding. Offense, number 53. 10 yards from the flag. Repeat. 2nd out.
Kyle Franklin's apparent touchdown wiped out. This ball will go back just outside the 20-yard line.
Good camera work on that hold. Got his hands outside and took his opponent to the turf. Brian Kennelly, normally one of their best offensive linemen on the inside.
5th penalty, 47 yards for the Knights. Bishop McNamara has not been penalized this evening. The ball will be put at the 18-yard line. And it will be 2nd down from there. They need to get the Knights due inside the 5-yard line. This time Saunders to throw to the end zone. Ball floats up and it's knocked away at the last minute. Closing hard on Khalil Saunders was Ethan Baracus. Baracus has been near the ball all night.
Kelly Sanders he wanted a little bit more giddy up on this ball. This ball was up an awful long time, allowing the adjustment and the hit as the ball arrived by Paracas.
This would be huge for Bishop McNamara if they can turn away IC Catholic here. 3rd down, 15 to go. Saunders will get it to Franklin. Franklin, the outside, runs out of room. It was Devon Brooks, number 1 for Bishop McNamara, to run him out of bounds. And now it is 4th down. Tom Sloan had a 20-yard field goal a few minutes ago. This, however, would be about 32 yards. They attempted the field goal, but it appears the Knights will go for it. Again, they have to get out inside the 4-yard line.
So they run some kind of fade pattern to the pylon far corner, or design quarterback draw if they keep it on the ground.
Saunders buying time. Picked off. And the McNamara defense does come up big. Saunders was pressured. He throws the interception, so the lead remains at 10.
Well, you pick that play apart. Absolutely no problem at all with that interception because he's got it deep inside the red zone. The long field will go through anyway, so you might as well take a shot downfield.
Manny Harris was just sitting there waiting for it. Now the Bishop Mac offense, an offense that had -1 net yards in the 3rd quarter, will take the field. Tyshawn King is on the field. He did not have any impact in that 3rd quarter. But the wind is at the back of the Fighting Irish. On the ground, big hole for King. The hole closes at about the 25-yard line.
14 Carolina. On the ball.
Well, the superlatives for that young man don't quit. Coach Zanandi called King one of the best running backs in Bishop McNamara history. And St. Francis coach Bob McMillan called him the best running back in the state I've seen this year. That's opposing coach that made that quote.
Miller. He will get the 1st down. Well, with the clock sitting at 9:57 to play, you really feel like this is a must-score possession here for the Fighting Irish.
Absolutely, especially with the ground and pound running attack that IC Catholic has had. They've been playing keep away from Bishop McNamara for the most part this 2nd half in its entirety.
Motion from Jackson. Miller comes back to the near side. He had a man wide open. He had Peyton Gerberding right there, and that ball just floated on him. Got it up in the wind a little bit and carried it away from Gerberding.
Yeah, that's a play, that's a pass he left out on the field because he had Max Cook beat. He ran a post corner. He took Cook to the inside, planted, cut back to the outside, was wide open. And you can't leave plays in the field, especially trailing like Bishop McNamara is right now. 6 straight incompletion.
Tyler Hiller in a little bit of a slump, if you will, here in the championship game. It will be 3rd down after a very, very short pickup from King.
You look at Hiller there getting a play from the sideline, and you look back at that last play, and you look at King, and he has gutted it out. He's been to the sideline a couple times with injuries. He just doesn't have that explosiveness right now with this nagging injury tonight. But he's trying to gut it out. He's still the best player on the field offensively for his team.
Hiller will have to squirt through. He does. Tyler Hiller into IC territory. Great run from the junior quarterback from Bishop McNamara.
Sometimes it's better to be late than early. 19 yards on that pickup, because what I mean by that is you need to be patient. Watch him extend the play, read it, fake it, and now he just waits and waits for the blocking to develop and the defense to break down. Makes one guy miss and keeps his team alive with his leadership on that run.
Quick to the near left side. He gets in the hands of King. He'll be close to a first down.
You drop offenses and plays and schemes. The number one thing you do on the perimeter is get the ball speed in space. That's what they did right there, delivering the ball out on the perimeter to Tyshawn King where he could make a play. Quick release, almost like a double play. Man, second base, we get the ball one-on-one and lets him try to create.
Owen Jackson. Jackson's in room. Jackson to spin. Owen Jackson down to the 2-yard line. What a run from Owen Jackson. The 6'1", 180-pound junior goes for 35 yards.
A little bit of Baryshnikov, a little bit of a pirouette spin. Watch it coming in your living room right now as he turns the corner. And then the crunch at the goal line.
They will give Jackson credit all the way to the 1. It's first and goal from there. King. Did he get it? No indication. Going the other way with it is Khalil Saunders. Not sure where he got that ball from.
We're going to keep going. Bring that ball back. We can't even play. I'm taking my ball and going home.
Well, now it's a long walk back for Khalil.
He got some good airtime.
There was nobody around Saunders. Look at that. There you go.
You wouldn't have run that far.
I'd have been waving for help. Come on, guys.
Hey, you'd be calling for the golf cart to take you back to the other end.
I'll tell you what, I like that, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many
times?
That's
That's what your coach to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your coach to do.
Put 7 minutes and 30 seconds back on the clock.
Injured player down for IC Catholic in the middle of all that. That's Kobe Reed. Well, King did not get in. That much we know. Here's a look back at it.
Well, they had a lead blocker, they had a fullback blocker, they had an H-back. Just power smash mouth football. Not a good angle for the official to see that that ball is very close to breaking the plane.
You know, I believe we didn't see the conclusion as we see that Reed back and moving to the sideline. I believe that Saunders may have stripped King from the ball, but I believe that whistle had already been blown, and that's why Saunders' 99-yard fumble recovery never happened.
It didn't happen. You know, you go back, if they culminate this drive with a touchdown, go back to the goal line stand. Again, they've had a couple goal line stands tonight. They got the ball back on down from IC Catholic. They thought they were going to salt the game away. IC Catholic's dominated, but Bishop McNamara showing some grit.
Right here inside the 1-yard line. First man through, Jackson. And that is enough. Touchdown, Bishop McNamara, Owen Jackson. And we have a ball game with 7:14 to play.
Pretty impressive drive. The goal line stop. The drive to get back alive. Smash mouth football on the inside. Just powering his way. Bruising up the middle to hit pay dirt. And a touchdown is scored.
Preston Lane. This one's a big one. To cut the lead to 3. 24-21. A turnover on a 4th down pass leads to an 82-yard drive in 8 plays. It covered 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And with 24-21 to score and 7:14 to play, this is how we got there. Touchdown run. Give that touchdown to Dorian Ottman. Dorian Ottman, who spends most of his time on the defensive side of the ball, gets the offensive carry, gets the touchdown, and cuts the lead to 3. Along with Edgy Tim, Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Fourth member of our broadcast crew is Patrick Reed. Patrick.
Guys, Bishop McNamara is looking to make the comeback here, and with the tradition they have and that you guys have built up in Ridge Zanani's tenure, it's no mistake 5 state titles later that he has players back that played under him that are back as assistant coaches now. That's how he builds the tradition of the program. His coaching roster includes Kurt Belisle, Mike Vickery, who are longtime assistants, Curtis Crosley and Alan Rood, who are newcomers. They all played for him at Bishop McNamara. They all played at the FBS level as well in college. And when we asked him this week what it meant to have full players on staff, he said it means everything. They're passionate, their enthusiasm is contagious, and that is one way to build a comeback in a game like this if you're Bishop Mac.
And do you know that 40 years ago today was the first state championship ball game Rich Zanani coached in? It was against Geneseo. The Fighting Irish came up short, but 40 years ago today.
And his dentist was his quarterback at that game. Dentist in Kankakee. Now Kelly O'Connor was the quarterback for the 78 Fighting Irish.
As Patrick said, what does that say about that gentleman right there in terms of having all the different assistant coaches who alter their occupations on a daily basis to make sure that they're able to coach, and in many cases volunteer.
Yeah, 10 varsity assistants, 5 volunteers want to play, be a part of it.
And now it's IC up by 3. 7 minutes left. Looking to pick up their 3rd consecutive state championship. 2 and 3A. This one would come in 4A. Bishop McNamara looking for its 6th state championship in school history. IC Catholic Prep has 4 of them. A couple of them is Immaculate Conception. Bill Kraft, the head coach for IC, played on one of those teams.
270 rushing yards combined for Saunders and Franklin in the backfield. A dynamic duo running the football.
Cook, who has a touchdown run in the second half. He knocked down, but not until he picks up the first down.
And Cook now with about 36 yards of his own has right now back on a sideline nursing himself is Kyle Franklin. I don't want to surmise what's wrong with him, but Cook getting the carry here.
Well, how about Kevin Cook, the way he has stepped in with Franklin dinged up tonight.
And Franklin looks like he wants to go back in.
Yes. I'm good.
He's
ready.
Yeah, he's going to be in the ear of somebody.
Go stand next to your coach. That a boy. Yeah, don't be hanging around down the side. Right next to your coach. Hard running to the 40-yard line. Well, right now, the Knights will be looking to take some time off the clock. And all right, he said the magic word to Bill Kraft. Let me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. I was thinking that same thing. I don't think he's had to do that very often this year, right? Trying to get in. He's like, get out there. Coach Kraft, look at his shorts. He's got the beach look.
Because that's what it's felt like here today. Franklin will get it. And he scores through. Look out, Kyle Franklin. They are not going to touch him. Kyle Franklin. He asks his way into the game, and he goes 60 yards for the score.
You just witnessed insanity right there with that run. Oh, my goodness. He stopped the line of scrimmage, and we talked about that earlier, Dave. But no, as soon as you think he stopped, it's just like a bowling ball. He just bounced off a couple pins, and then acceleration to the next level. Watch him stop right there. And then it's over. It's over. Church is out.
60 yards later, and IC with a 30-21 lead. And he's watching himself on the video board.
He answers the Irish answer.
And just like that, in a span of 1 minute and 14 seconds, the lead jumps back to 10. 4 plays, 74 yards, the last 60 coming from Franklin.
Was his best play the 60-yard run, or was his best play getting Coach Kraft to put him in the game? Oh, that was a fun sequence.
Franklin, just a sophomore, busted for 60 and the 6-minute mark.
Got him unofficially for 227 yards rushing. Human highlight film, he is. He is. Fun to watch.
So Kyle Franklin with that 60-yard touchdown run makes it a 31-21 lead. And he has had a night.
Does he have his driver's license yet? I mean, I don't think so. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
My goodness.
With that run, Franklin earns himself the Wintrust play of the game. And that may have been it right there. Talking to Bill Krepp. Let me in. Let me in. Okay, we'll give you the ball. And you are gone. Wintrust play of the game. 60-yard touchdown run from Kyle Franklin. And nobody catches him once he breaks through. And now, time to watch yourself on the board. Well, that is demoralizing for Bishop McNamara, right? They had just cut the game to 3, and then just a little over a minute later, boom. A little chip shot. Caleb Smith takes a hit. Fighting Irish backs against the wall right now.
You want me to share with you a winning recipe to be in a position to win a state title on a cold, rainy night in Champaign? You rush the football 49 times for 376 yards. That's what IC Catholic Prep has right now. Ground and pound, yes. And then big chunk plays, absolutely. Just incredible running game.
Miller in charge of leading the comeback. Does not get back to the line of scrimmage, but he avoids a bigger loss. Kevin Akins with that stop. Tackle for loss.
Now watch Akins is going to chase him down with the back right here. Pretty good wheels for the big fella on the inside.
Yeah, he never let go of that jersey of Hiller. Tyler Hiller once again will have to crank it up. King cannot hang on, knocked away from him. The last time these teams met, September 14th. The score, IC 21, Bishop McNamara 20. How did they do it? A 50-yard touchdown pass with 16 seconds left in the game. Tonight they are looking to leave, no doubt. Clock moving towards 5 minutes. Hiller looking for something deep down the field. Nobody near the ball. Netherton the closest to it, wearing a green jersey. Kyle Franklin tonight has had runs of 26 yards, 27 yards, 42 yards, and 60 yards. That's having a night.
That is indeed. He's averaging 11.4 yards per carry. So he averages more than a first down every touch of the football.
Timeout. Kankakee.
Bishop McNamara will take this timeout.
We're going to go stat green.
The situation they'll be faced with, the 4th down and 12 when they break that huddle.
Well, you alluded to it before this series started. They had that goal line stop. They get the interception. They march it right downfield. They have to work to punch it in on the bruising run on the inside by Dorian Altman. And then IC Catholic Prep with their best player on the sideline, that being none other than the man of the hour, Kyle Franklin, talks his way back into the game and sprints his way into the end zone to create separation in this game. What an electric player he is. And now maybe the last bullet for sure of this series right now for Hiller to have to make a play.
Ball needs to get across the 41-yard line. And all sorts of movement. That, in all likelihood, will back it up 5 more yards.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Number 55. To keep it out.
Now this second half did not look right for Bishop McNamara when you saw Tyshawn King on the sidelines without his helmet. And even though they did get that one score here in this second half, it's just been an offense that's really been out of rhythm. That penalty, by the way, the first one on Bishop McNamara tonight.
5 defenders for IC Catholic Prep, 15 yards back.
And a kick on 4th down and a good hop. What McNamara will be looking for now will be a turnover, because that clock sits at 4 minutes and 56 seconds. That's all that separates IC Catholic from its 3rd consecutive state championship, 5th overall in school history.
That's a great picture right there. That tells the story. Tyshawn King puts his head down right there, and that's the first time all night. All we've been doing is praising Bishop McNamara for their grit and their fortitude and their ability to sustain their game plan. But it's the first time tonight there's been a little bit of a letdown on the side of the green shirts.
IC came in averaging 301 yards in the ground. With enough time and a few more plays, they could crack 400 here tonight. McNamara played it short on defense. A Russian man out there. Yeah, just too much confusion either way, and it'll be IC that will call the timeout. Well, we have a full day of football for you tomorrow. We've played 4 games here today. We'll be crowning 4 champions here in the span of about 5 minutes. But tomorrow, we start at 10 a.m. on NBC Sports Chicago. Joliet Catholic Academy and Montini. That's how you get your days started. And Cary Grove, looking for another state title, takes a perfect record against Crete Moni. 7A, Nazareth Academy. They finished 2nd in 6A last year, taking on St. Charles North. The North Stars making its first appearance ever in the state final game, and then won a matchup to wrap things up. Loyola Academy and Brother Rice. Just like this ball game, another matchup between conference members. Tomorrow's weather, I think it's supposed to be a little bit drier tomorrow.
Yeah, 50 and sunny, we'll take it. You know, IC Catholic Prep, they only have 72 people in their program. 4 levels, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. But all 4 levels practice together every day. So you're having those young guys not only going against the older guys, but learning from those older guys, being coached by the same system. And the system is another one that perpetuates itself.
You know, and the other thing that happens out of there, a flag goes down right at the end of this play, is that if you're an underclassman, you've got a distinct chance of playing and starting on this team. That's exactly what has happened here. As 14 underclassmen started in this championship game last year for IC.
Holding on the offense, number 61. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Point being is you don't find yourself on the sophomore team, maybe on a different field somewhere. You're seen by every coach every single day.
And being coached, the consistency of a position coach who's got the linebackers will be taught the same all levels. Running backs, wide receivers, you get the gist of that there's consistency throughout the developmental stages of a young athlete's life.
Bishop Mack declines that penalty just to minimize the number of plays that IC could run. He did not want to give any extra plays, which would make for an extra 30 seconds off the clock. So now it's 3rd down and long here for the Knights.
They're going to use as much of snap clock as they can every series, try to shorten this game. They'll craft a master at utilizing clock management.
3 yards by plays, 3rd down, 3rd and 7.
Khalil Saunders, the line of scrimmage, looks up at the play clock. It's down to 3, down to 2, and he gets the snap off. And the hole is closed. And so the Knights will have to punt this one away. It's a lot of alumni for IC, very interested in this ballgame, including 3 former players for Bill Kraft, currently at the Naval Academy. That's Jimmy Canale, Pat Guinan, and Tommy Guinan. And all 3 of those play for the Navy Sprint football team. Now, they won the Collegiate Sprint Football League Championship. What is sprint football? Well, you have to weigh 178 pounds or less and weigh in twice a week. And the Naval Academy's championship team. They have their eyes tuned here to Champaign.
So they went ahead and basically took the penalty.
Timeout. IC Catholic.
They let it go down to 1 second before they took the penalty. Opportunity to punt here. They've shortened the game to 3:09 mark.
Only 1 touchdown in the second half for Bishop McNamara. That came on a 1-yard run by Dorian Ottman. That cut the lead to 24-21, but then Kyle Franklin busted a 60-yard run on the 4th play of the ensuing drive. And that's where we sit right now at 31-21.
You know, like most schools, coaches do a lot more than just coach football. Coach Kraft has his night team involved with mission work in Red Lake, Minnesota for some underprivileged families. He has his team work with the Easter Seals as well as the Knights of Columbus. So they go out and do some good in the community as well as on the athletic field.
Number 20, future opponents of IC Catholic Prep. You're going to see him for 2 more years.
You don't want to watch film on him. Like, what can you do?
It's a kick away in traffic. McNamara will get it at the 48-yard line. Only 3 minutes left in this one. And it takes something pretty magical, because our country financial player of the game is wearing a white jersey, and he has had a huge night. Kyle Franklin. We rattled off those 4 long runs he has had this evening. He goes right, he goes left, he gets to the end zone. It was one of his 2 touchdown runs. This was the second. This one goes for 60 yards, over 200 yards on the ground for Franklin, our country financial player of the game. Hiller looking for the money ball and knocked away, and interference, all kinds of flags coming in. They were looking deep to Netherton. Number 5, Max Cook, one of the offenders.
So Hiller comes out, takes a shot downfield, going to reap the benefit of a penalty. Bishop McNamara, they just won't go away without continuing to fight.
Pass interference against the defense. Number 5, 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
That will move the ball inside the 35-yard line. They'll put it down at the 32. McNamara 12-1 on the season. The only loss coming earlier in the year, this same IC Knights team.
21-20, last seconds.
That sail once again. Balls have been thrown to this near side with the wind that has been blowing from right to left. It's had a tendency to kind of sail up and out of bounds. The mist continuing to fall. It's been pretty much steady rain, mist here for probably 3/4 of this game.
Tyler Hiller was 5 out of 7, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns in the semis. Just have not been able to get it going consistently via the air, especially since they've been trailing playing catch-up football.
If he can get to the outside, he will be close to the first down. He will stop the clock. Don't know that he made it to that first down marker, however.
He's a nice guy to have back, though, isn't he? That young quarterback, just a junior. He'll have, what, 21 games under his belt when he enters next season. 7 last year, 14 this year. He'll lead his team from, I'll guarantee you, from the 1st of January on. to get back to the weight room.
He's one of the reasons that a lot of folks thought that McNamara may be a year away. First down completion and a big hit. But inside the 20-yard line. That hit applied by Chauncey Lee. Manny Harris with the catch, however. This is a Bishop McNamara team 3-6 last year. They turned it around to 12-1 this season. Quickly to Gerberding. Gerberding has been somewhat quiet tonight. Came in with 22 catches for 731 yards. Short completion on first down. And not much time to get that play call in. Bishop McNamara with only a couple of timeouts remaining. And floated out once again to Harris. He takes another big hit. Manny Harris caught 2 balls. He's taking some big hits.
Well, every time they're throwing a football now, there's double coverage because obviously IC Catholic Prep playing a little bit, I won't say loose or soft, but their number one objective right now is keep the ball in front. Keep it in front. Don't get an explosive play behind you as the clock continues to roll.
The pitch to King, the pitch to Harris, the loose ball. And there was an awful lot of penetration there from IC.
There was a little bit of rugby action going there with all the multiple pitches. A little bit of trickery right there. They try to pull out to get a quick score.
And now the Fighting Irish up against it. 4th down. They need to get to the 8-yard line. Jackson has it. He will not get there. He'll come up about 3 yards short. And with under a minute to play, IC Catholic will take over on downs. And the Knights are feeling it.
First time they've let their guard down and look a little bit in a celebratory mode right now.
McNamara has a couple of timeouts if they wish to stop the clock here. Down by 10. Where are the Twins? 9 and 13. Khalil and Khalid. The Saunders brothers wrapping up a career here at IC Catholic.
Your father, Avery Weston's a proud dad tonight.
That would be an understatement. About that 4 years on the varsity, and you are going to have 3 state championships and only 1 loss in the playoffs.
Timeout. Kankakee.
In fact, that loss is the only loss in the last 42 games that Bill Kreft and his team have suffered.
2 of the storied programs in Illinois High School Association history. Coach Kreft, look, he's still coaching. He's telling me, they only got 1 timeout. They only got 1 timeout.
Well, he gets his word in, and then it's up to his assistants from there.
There's a lot of trust in his assistants, his coaching staff. Good coaches will have confidence doing that because they know they've surrounded themselves with good people and they develop people. That's what a solid coach does. Matter of fact, he calls himself a facilitator, not the head coach. He says, I facilitate for this team, and that's a good way of putting it as he delegates and leads.
Saunders will look to stay in bounds. Yardage does not matter at this point. And McNamara will take its final timeout. But right now,
timeout. Kankakee.
Right now, the Fighting Irish, they go right down to it. They're going to look for a turnover, and then something big would have to happen. A 2-score difference.
Well, we had some excellent football games at Memorial Stadium, Champaign tonight.
Forreston in 1A on its third state title in the last 5 years. In 2A, Gibson City Melvin Sibley. GCMS goes back-to-back in state titles. 3A, a little bit different twist on matters, as Monticello, in its first appearance in the state title ball game, they come away winners over Byron. And here, just 40 seconds away from IC Catholic, going back-to-back-to-back. A couple in 3A, and if they get this one, it'd be in 4A. See Kyle Franklin, he's not begging to get into the ball game now. He was right before this play. Franklin with a three-point game on the line, and 60 yards later, the lead grew to 10, and that's where we have been sitting here in the final 6 minutes of this game.
And he likes what he sees on the big board in the end zone.
How about a dream for a sophomore, right? You get to go up and look at the video board and see what you just did. How many people can say they've done that? And depending on how quickly the referees mark this ball ready for play, we may or may not need another snap. And there you see the dancing. That's one of the teams that like to dance. And they are dancing and watching themselves here in Champaign. Moving closer to the board. But the Knights from IC will go back to back to back. Your 2018 Class 4A state champions. There was no 1-point last second win tonight. And there is a lot of folks having a lot of fun on a cold night. No 1-point win tonight, as it was in the middle of September when it was a whole lot warmer. Tonight, a 10-point victory for IC. 31-21 the final. It's rained all night. It's been misting. It's been a light rain. But then it gets heavy storms real quick. We'll be back. We've got post-game coverage coming here in your 4A wrap-up of the night. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. Back with more. Celebration on the far side of the field as IC Catholic Prep claims their third consecutive state championship tonight, 31-21 over Bishop McNamara. We welcome you back to Memorial Stadium, University of Illinois, and Patrick Reed is standing by with our Country Financial Player of the Game.
Kyle Franklin, how much fun did you have tonight?
Sir, it was amazing. It was amazing. The feeling is amazing. I just love the feeling. To win another state championship for the third time, that's just an amazing feeling. I'm glad I could do it with my brothers, and it was just amazing.
What did you say to your coach to get yourself back in the game?
I told him, Coach, I was ready to go. After that injury, I wasn't really into the game, but they put it in my head that I had to go. I had to do it for the team, so I stood up, and I stood up as a leader, and we just all worked together.
Okay, now how about watching yourself all the way in on the video board here through South End Zone?
It just feels amazing to watch myself, not only watch myself, but watch my teammates help me out to get those amazing runs.
Man, you're having a great time. Go with your guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kyle.
That's my boy.
Kyle Franklin, that's a fella that is enjoying himself. Franklin has actually been around this IC Catholic program for several years. He's just been in the community, hangs around with the players prior to him even coming to high school there. And now Bill Kreff standing by with Patrick.
Bill, this is a fun group. Describe these guys in a different look here tonight.
Characters with character. They're resilient. They fought the whole year. They've done a great job of just responding to adversity. That's just what they are, characters.
Second half, your defense really stood tall. We've talked about the offense. We've talked about Kyle Franklin. Congratulations, Bill. Go enjoy this one.
Indeed, a great team. 3 consecutive state championships. Bumped up to Class 4A due to the success factor. And IC Catholic runs the table. The Knights go 14-0 on the season. They claim the 31-21 championship victory here in Class 4A. Big-time numbers tonight for the Knights mark on the ground. IC Catholic averaged 7 yards per carry, 383 yards rushing.
Well, they did it with small, punch you in the mouth type of grinded out plays. They did it with electric plays. They did it with big chunk plays. And they did it with 2 100-yard rushers. Kyle Franklin with 227 and 2 touchdowns. And Khalil Saunders, 117 rushing yards of his own and a touchdown. And a really good 1-2 combination leads them to a title.
Only 2 losses on the season for Bishop McNamara. One loss came back in the middle of September. The other one came here tonight in Champaign to the state champions in 4A. Both losses coming to IC Catholic Prep. And they can start stacking those trophies as you see our Menard Trophy presentation, a familiar sight here at the state finals. IC Catholic, the Knights, your Class 4A state champions, a final of 31-21 over Bishop McNamara. So IC Catholic takes over for Rochester in the 4A championships. Rochester, of course, had gone back-to-back. The Rockets have won 7 of the last 8. Is the new power in Class 4A? Does it come from Elmhurst? And does it come from IC Catholic Prep? 3 straight state titles.
Just an awesome exhibition of football by IC Catholic Prep as they take over the third quarter, just dominating at 94 yards to 3. They made a statement, punched him in the mouth. Bishop Mac comes right back with a drive, but IC Catholic able to finish because of that young man right there.
Our first day of the IHSA Football Championships have come to a close, but don't forget, you'll see more of this type of action tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll start with Joliet Catholic and Montini. We'll wrap it up with Loyola and Brother Rice. That comes your way tomorrow on NBC Sports Chicago. We'll talk to you then.